This is a first look at the Kinesis Freestyle Edge split keyboard. Now I know the box says gaming. I don't actually intend to use this for much gaming at all. I am comparing it to my 9-year-old Logitech Illuminated keyboard. I don't have any specific complaints about this keyboard. In fact, I've been very happy. However, I've started to have wrist pain in reaching for my mouse and just having it off to the side, and I think part of that is having the number pad off to the side creates a longer keyboard. Now when you step back and you can see the setup to compare these two keyboards, it makes the Logitech keyboard look even longer. And I recognize the irony of complaining about having to stretch for the mouse by having it way out here for this review, but it won't stay that way for long. Now, looking at the features of this Kinesis keyboard, the Freestyle Edge is probably the latest iteration in some of their freestyle keyboards. I think there's version 1, version 2, a couple of versions with that. Kinesis has been making ergonomic keyboards for many years now, and other reviews have stated that this keyboard is more robust than the other freestyle keyboards, and thus far I would say it feels like a very durable keyboard. Now, the other main difference I want to highlight between these two keyboards is that in the Kinesis keyboard there are mechanical keys, and the Logitech uses something called Perfect Stroke, which is somewhere between dome and scissor switch. It has kind of the look and profile of a laptop keyboard, but as you'll see here in a minute, the keys are silent, and again, typing on this thing, other than when I started to have wrist pain, has been quite enjoyable. I've liked the low profile, the very quick, short typing range, and found it very accurate. Whether I hit the middle of the key or the edges of the keys, I find the typing experience to be superb. But this is not a Logitech review. This is a comparison to my experience, old versus what I hope to be my new keyboard for a long time. Clearly, I'm not switching these things out all the time. The Kinesis Freestyle Edge currently comes in 3 options for keys. So the option I bought was the brown because I like the quiet typing experience, and supposedly the brown offers one of the most quiet experiences, at least from mechanical keys. You can also get this keyboard with red switches, cherry red or cherry blue. So they're all cherry keys, and your options are brown, red, or blue. The brown switches supposedly have a tactile nub. So if we're looking at this box here, you can kind of, you don't really see it here, but there would be a piece on this when you're pushing the key down that you'd actually feel that key actuate. So when we're typing with this, you can see now I'm not pushing those keys all the way down. If I wanted to bottom out, in my mind that starts to get very loud. And for context, you can see the comparison against my Logitech Illuminated keyboard. I'm bottoming these keys out. I'm not being careful, just typing like I normally would. In fact, the spacebar is almost by far the loudest key on this keyboard. Now, another feature that I like about these keyboards, both of them have it, and this is a reason I also purchased this keyboard initially, was the illumination, the backlighting. The Freestyle Edge also has backlighting. It chooses blue. That doesn't come in any other color. Blue is your only option. I don't believe you can change that or reprogram it. With the Logitech, white was the backlight, and from the things I've been learning lately about blue and red light, especially at night, it would be nice to have a red backlight because supposedly that will do kind things to your brain. Basically let you go to sleep at night after you've stayed up late playing video games. So in my current setup, I don't have anything that actually, or an app that is reducing the amount of blue light I'm exposed to. I was a little disappointed that the Kinesis Edge only comes with blue light, but one click to turn that off if I don't really want that. Also, you saw how bright that was there are settings in the software that allow you to change the brightness of that backlighting. But for now, I haven't installed any software. All I did was plugged it into my dock, the USB cable, and I was immediately typing on this thing. I have to say that my first experiences with typing here, I felt like the new keyboard, the Kinesis Freestyle Edge, was actually more comfortable. So I've heard all the claims about mechanical keys being better for you. There's endless tirades online about this, but in my experience right now, it's definitely a looser feel than what I've been using, and there's far more travel in the keys than there are in my old keyboard. And something else I noticed immediately when I started typing, I did a quick comparison just typing normally, both hands on the keys, and I noticed that I felt much more comfortable with the Freestyle Edge. My arms, my wrists felt very comfortable, but as soon as I switched back to my old keyboard, I felt a tightness as I started typing, which was interesting to see and to feel that, such a noticeable difference immediately. However, I'll have to prove that out by actually spending time typing. Another part that I'm hoping to take advantage of is, of course, the split keyboard allows a more natural position. I have wider shoulders that make me have to kind of scrunch in and tighten up my wrists when I'm trying to type on this thing, so you can see an awkward angle kind of forming, and both hands are like that when I'm typing. So I'm hoping to avoid that by having the ability to shift these at an angle if that's what's more comfortable. And they also give you the ability with a separately purchased accessory to tilt these at an angle 5, 10, or 15 degrees, and I haven't attached it yet because the ones I purchased are for use without the palm rest. So I'll have to remove the palm rest, just snaps on and off. What I'm expecting out of this is a more relaxed, more comfortable, effectively a healthier position and posture for using the keyboard. Now you can see that once the Logitech is out of the way, I could position the mouse in the center of these. They like to advertise online for this keyboard. You can move the right half of the keyboard out of the way and have your mouse right next to the side of the keyboard that's typically used for gaming. They also provide a bunch of macro keys that are programmable, and I'm actually interested in seeing how I can program these, not for gaming, but for automating other functions that I would do on a keyboard regularly. Whether it's automating some of the things that I'm typing, like commonly typed names, or perhaps instructions I give in various pieces of software. Having these programmable keys here out of the way from where I use a right-handed mouse, and so being able to have that off to the side, I think is going to be very helpful. With that said, this is a first look at the Kinesis Freestyle Edge with cherry brown mechanical keys, and I hope this helps you in your own decision on whether this is the keyboard for you.